Good morning. Gonna kind of show you not exactly a messy part of my kitchen because it's kind of the whole kitchen. But this is kind of the area. I have a small kitchen, so please bear that in mind. Didn't quite think that through when we bought the house, but it's okay. By the way, good morning, good morning. I've been sick all weekend long, so it feels so good to be upright and doing things. I'm getting ready to dehydrate some eggs, and the first thing that I do, I use the fruit leathers, which are these, with my Presto dehydrator, and I just take a paper towel, and as you see, I just poured a little bit of oil, and I'm going to coat this leather almost to where you really don't see. I mean, you can see the oil, but it's not like pooling or anything like that. And the reason why I choose to do that is because it makes it easier for me to get it out. You don't have to do that, especially with eggs, because they tend to have enough oil. For me, the easier I can make things work, the better. Now, give me just a second. Now, sorry. Some of these eggs, even though they say that they came from Walmart or what have you, I bet that was really loud and I'm sorry. They did not. They came from a local farmer who blesses us with eggs. So, hold these up. And not always are we able to use the eggs as we get them. So, and actually sometimes we get blessed quite a lot during a time when I might be away from the house. So what I'm gonna do is take just a minute and water test them, because eggs that are good will float to the bottom. And let me lift this up. As you can see, that's exactly what these have done. So I'm going to take a little bit of the water off of this real quick. I have not had enough coffee to really actually be functioning, and I'm actually not over whatever it was that we have had all weekend long. So let's just do this. So what I do, have a KitchenAid stand hand mixer. Not stand, hand mixer is what I meant to say. Guys, we'll get this done, I promise. But I have a hand mixer, and I hope that you can see more than me and my, yeah, it's about as good as it's gonna get. But limited my space. But we just break those. I take them straight over and lay them on the back of the sink. I will put them in the oven later to dry them, and then we'll either put them in when we plant tomatoes, or we'll put them in the worm bin. The one thing that we do not do is throw them out. That's just not a no-no. I mean, that's just not a happening thing. But I've learned that about 4, and I do have a little wipey towel that I just kind of like use for this purpose and then clean up later. That one just went everywhere. Sorry. Give me a pause. Clean that up for now. now, and then I'll go back over it with a rag here in a little bit. I'm hoping that you can hear me okay, because actively what I can hear is muffled. So, because I do have Meniere's disease, yeehaw. So, yeah. Now, I'm certain that you guys have caught the concept of water testing the eggs, so I'm going to move this over out of my way. If you have any questions about it, Google it or ask me. There's certain ways that the eggs will turn. If you have like one egg and it turns upwards, it means it needs to be used pretty quickly. If they lay flat, you're good. But here's what's going to happen, and it's going to be loud, and I'm burning up, guys. So I'm going to put the whisk in on my KitchenAid stand hand mixer, stick mixer, I think is what it's called. If you don't own one of these, save your pennies and get you one, because I absolutely love this thing. It is wonderful. It's going to be loud. Give me just a couple of minutes. So we're going to do... a good mix. I didn't put any milk. I didn't put any milk in this because I'm not doing like an omelet dehydration. I'm just doing the eggs. And the reason being is that, you know, later whenever I use them, I can use them to cook or what have you. And of course, this is the, let's back this up a little bit. Let's see where you can get this. This is the tray. And I just take my time. Now, I've seen some people just do an entire, like, dozen. If you can do it that way, more power to you. You won't catch any grief from me. However, I'm clumsy, so I don't do it that way. Just simply because I'm clumsy, and I would end up with a mess. And the whole purpose of doing this way is to preserve and have our food longer. And you know, this is something that dehydrating these eggs are not just something that I can use longer. Say my husband goes out camping on the four-wheeler or what have you, or you know, say we're without power for an extended period of time, we can rehydrate the eggs, cook them over the grill, you know, something like that that does not require electricity, or use them on the what's that doohickey called? We can use the generator for them. There's just a whole lot of active uses, and powdered eggs are just what they are. They're powdered eggs. And if I'm the one doing the powdering, then I know what's in them. So that's where that is. And we're just going to kind of do the second one. I'm actually going to pause this about here, and I'll come back whenever I have everything done, because it's going to get a little loud, and you've seen the process. You've seen what I do. I'm water testing. Ordinarily, once I get the eggs from our friend, I don't have to water test every egg. Some of these have been around we kind of forgot when he gave them to us. Yes, that happens. So I'm water testing them because I'm sure that they're okay, but I want to be double sure. And this is a tried and true method of water testing eggs, fresh eggs. Do not do this method with store-bought eggs. It does not apply to store-bought eggs. They are processed a completely different way than the eggs that I get from my friend on the farm. So if you'll hang on just a minute, I'm going to be right back with you when I get all the rest of these trays done. I'll show you how many we're doing today. This will use up all our surplus, so to speak, of eggs, and we'll go from there. And then I probably should go back to bed. Have a good day. I'll be right back. Okay, I forgot to mention, I do mine between 130, the temperature, I set my temperature between 135 and 140. It depends on my mood, okay? And it also depends on the moisture in the air and how cold it is. Today it is like around 18 degrees, so we're gonna go with 140. I automatically set the time to 12 hours because I can come back and turn it off, okay? I don't, if they're not done in 12 hours, the temperature has constantly been kept at 140, so they're fine. All germs are gone, all bacteria is killed, and I can just continue for however longer that they need to go. So I forgot to tell you that. Forgive me because I'm still not completely well from being sick over the weekend. I can't even have coffee yet. So anyway, there's that. Nice picture of mine. Okay. Now, in the dehydrator today, we have approximately 30 eggs. That's insane. I get busy and I don't completely shut doors. What I'm fixing to do now, I'm going to take a Clorox wipe around everything where the eggs were, just to make sure that everything is clean. And then I'll be back to show you what I'm going to do with the eggshells. Because if you remember from my previous videos, let's do this. I don't throw out my eggshells. And the reason why I do is because they're very good for the garden. And it's going to be garden time before you know it. And I hope that I'm not competing too much with this dehydrator because it's a little louder than I am. So I'll be right back and we'll get into how we do that. Okay, now, you may be wondering, did we put all of those shells in the trash? But of course not. Sorry, you can see like my robe. But of course not. Of course we did not do that. As you know, I use them in the worm bin. I use them in the garden. The one thing that I do not do that some people do is feed them to their animals. I don't feed them to my dogs because it makes them to throw up invariably. So although it's a good thing to do, it's full of they're full of calcium, full of good things for your animals. I don't. Anyway, instead, I set this oven to 220 degrees. Laid these out on a tray, rinsed them out, set them in there. They will be in there for a few moments. We will hear let's kind of bring you up where you can see kind of me. We will hear a popping sound, which means that they have dried. Sorry, this is I'm trying something different. And yes, you can see all that mess over there. Don't care. I've told you before, I have a small kitchen. We're working on it. If you're watching to see the mess, then you're watching for the wrong reason anyway. And I say that with a sense of humor. But yeah, these will be ready probably in 12 hours-ish. I'll check them in 12 hours and see how far they have progressed, and add a little bit more time to them, and then I'll I'll dump them out into a bowl, then grind them. Then we'll run them back through to get rid of any extra moisture. And then that's how that will go. Give me just a minute. Okay, we've tidied the mess. I plan to make some grape jelly and pineapple jelly and apple jelly later on today. I'm going to try to film that. It depends on if I can turn the dehydrator off or whatever, because it will be too loud right close to my stove. I'm thinking about, because I have so many lemons, I'm thinking about maybe making some lemon jelly. Don't know, have to look into that and see what I can do. I am definitely I learned a new way over the weekend. I'm sorry, I'm still not completely well. My fever broke night before last, thank you God. For those of you that follow me on Twitter that have been praying, thank you. For those of you that follow me on Facebook that have been praying, thank you. And to my mommy, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was fine. I think we did a video Thursday, Friday. I can't remember now. It's kind of a blur. I had a headache one day, and then the next day it was just like I just slowly. Well, Friday was Dad's birthday, so Friday I tried to stay busy, and I just slowly. I mean, literally just, it was like a train engine coming to a halt. And I'm sorry, but I don't like this. There we go. That's a little better. Yep, there's gobs of pictures on my refrigerator. It is what it is. They're my family. If you would like for me to introduce you to all of them, I will. But anyway, I just kind of slowly came to I'm done. Saturday I was worthless. I mean, useless. I mean, horrible. Thankfully, last week I did get some greens planted, some microgreens, and my tomatoes have started to sprout, so that makes me oh so happy. I'm very behind. I had said that I was going to plant rhubarb on Dad's birthday, and I didn't get to because I got sick. And B, I looked at the weather forecast, and it was supposed to be so cold for the next few days that I just decided, I just could not bring myself to go ahead and plant those seedlings, and I don't have germination mats yet. So I couldn't bring myself to attempt to try them. However, I'm gonna have to make some more apple chips. We got that covered. I'll send somebody by the store. I've got some apples, but yeah, we'll take care of that in the next couple of days. Not gonna be today because feeling pretty puny. I may get up and make some more jelly. As I said, my fever broke night before last, so pretty safe to be doing what I'm doing. I wanted you to hear the pop when the shells are disinfected, but I was in the bathroom, so you didn't get to hear that. But as they dry and disinfect, you'll hear a pop come out of the oven, and it's not a really loud pop. It's just a pop enough to where you know, okay, we're done. That, they tell you, okay, we're sanitized, we're done. Excuse me, pardon me. I'm sorry, I feel so awful still. Please, 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 be careful when you're out in public areas. Use the little wipies on your cart. Use hand sanitizer. Wash your hands often, because this is horrible. And I have just a mild. There are friends of ours that have been extremely ill with this. None of us have been as ill as they have so far, thankfully, and I don't want to be that ill. But anyway, This little snippet of the video is taking on a life of its own, so we're going to stop. Thanks for joining me. This is how I dehydrate and preserve my eggs. One of the ways. I do freeze them, you know, like boil them and freeze them and stuff like that. This way, doing them this way, if we end up with no power, we still have food, because they can still be, you know, we keep water, so having water, we can, you know, reconstitute the eggs and have food. And like I said, if they go in the mountains or whatever, they can take a packet of them. They don't have to take the whole jar. I have to remember, I can't remember what the ratio is to reconstitute them right now, because as you can see, my brain is not working. But anyway, it's that simple. So if we don't do jelly later on today, which it's looking like it's probably not going to happen, we'll do it tomorrow. And I'll also bring Ian in here. He likes to operate the Apple Master with me, and he loves to process apples. So we'll aim the camera down where you can see him help me. He's a good little apple processor. And we're working on, you know, as we get things put in, you know, jarred, canned, however you want to put it. My daughter says, why do you call it canning when you put it in to jars? Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to end this, because otherwise I'm going to just kind of like pass out. Really, no. But I do need to go lay down and rest with Ian. Ian is not well today. So we're going to put this together, get it posted for you. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us. We are still a work in progress. We are still learning how to do this stuff. So if you have constructive, keyword, constructive criticism or ideals, tips, or whatever on anything that I do and a way to do it better, leave it below. I appreciate it all, because like I said, we're learning. Have a great day. Remember, I'm the mayor's daughter. That's hard to say. My head is rattling. From Remnant Backyard Homestead. I still haven't decided completely on the name. It's either going to be Remnant Backyard or Remnant Urban or Remnant Backyard Urban Homestead. We'll get there. We love you oh so very much. Ian loves you, and I'm sure that he would much rather have filmed with me today versus being sick in the bed. So have a great day. We will see you in the next video. Bye.